Hi, I'm Chris. How many of y'all have heard? How many of y'all know what instrument this is? How many of y'all know what this one is?
Wait, what? Is it the same thing?
They're the same class of family, but they are not the same instrument.
Bass trumpet?
This one. So this one is a cornet. There is a difference. They're the same class of family. They're both brass instruments. Um, Sound is produced by vibration. When you hit a key on the piano, a soft hammer hits a string, vibrates the string. On a trumpet, cornet, sound is produced through buzzing.
My band class, one guy had the trumpet. He likes to like blow it very loud in front of people.
Yeah, that's common with trumpet players. We don't like to play quietly, but it shouldn't be quite that loud. Um, there are different notes that can be played, but there is a difference in tone. One thing I'll point out, the bore is cylindrical. If you follow this around, you notice how it's the same size up until it gets to the bell. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And a cornet, if you watch closely, you see the bore gets larger and larger. And so that's a conical. It creates a different tone. And there's a bit in there. That's just an example of a C and G.
What do we call spit? We call it
lung vapor.
Right.
So y'all kind of remember the tone of that. Here I have this. The trumpet's more piercing. The cornet's more mellow. The trumpet's more piercing. Trumpet is preferred. A trumpet's preferred in the orchestra setting, but it's really a matter of preference. What tone do you want? Cornet tends to be more mellow, along with the bugle. The bugle has the same conical bore. Bugle has no valves, so it can only play C, G, E. Anyone has perfect pitch, that's B flat, F, D.
And what's the bugle used for in military?
So bugle in military is used for different, what do you call it? Different purposes. Reveille, to wake people up, tell them it's time to get up. You have, does military play to the colors for flag raising or lowering?
Yeah,
Is it for both?
I can't remember the song.
Because I know in Boy Scouts we did two different ones. You had to the colors. I don't remember what the other one was called. You'd play a different bugle call for flag raising, flag lowering. You play taps for when it's time to go to bed or lights out. Sometimes you have to play taps at a funeral, which requires you to be able to put a little more emotion in it. Then you have assembly, which what's the military use that one for?
Assembly, can you play it for me? That we use to let us know that we're all done PT for the day.
Okay, it's the end of PT.
That's
Physical training.
Yeah, when you go out and exercise, to let you know we're all done. Yep.
And trumpets come in different keys. The most common is B flat. This one's a B flat. What that means, when I play a middle C, it would be a B flat on the piano. And the way they determine the key is they go by the lowest open note on the trumpet. Open note, no vowels pressed. So if I had an E flat trumpet and I played the lowest open note, it would be an E flat. But it would still be, I would still be reading a C on an E flat trumpet. And it can get harder because you buzz your lips. If I open notes, I can play different tension. Different notes, different tension. Or go to second valve. Oh. Down the first valve, B flat, F, D. That's a B flat, F, and D.
And what is the intervals between those?
I think those are fifths. It goes C, G, C. Yeah, so it's fifth interval in between each. On a trumpet, unlike the piano, there's a couple things you can do on trumpet that you can't do on piano, like a crescendo on a whole note. You can't do that on piano.
It's either you play loud or you play soft.
Yep. You can do a decrescendo on a piano or diminuendo. But what was I looking for?
You have to play like a softer note and then play another note that's louder.
Oh,
For crescendo.
so on piano we have something called legato, where you see slur marks. On trumpet, legato and slur marks are two different things. So we would consider legato would be the slur marks that go into more than one measure. Slur mark would be one measure where we would tongue the first note. So versus if I tongued each note. It's used as a phrase for expression.
Can you explain what tonguing a note means?
So tonguing a note, you would say ta. It creates a clear separation of the notes.
Aren't there like different types of articulation?
Yes, there are. So there's some
I know there's
staccato, legato, accents. So an accent, an example of that would be where that played the F, attacked it a little harder. What's your question?
We're playing the trumpet. Would it be good to play it with the guitar?
Depending on the genre of music.
So in like a lot of Spanish music,
Yes.
guitars and trumpets.
You find that usually in mariachi.
Yep.
But they mostly play in the bands. Yeah,
Marching band, the guitar should not be in the marching band because it takes away from the athleticism.
Imagine you see someone just like walking down.
But to cover kind of what you asked, the different articulations he's talking about. So we have slurs and legato. On that one, I'm saying da, so that the notes are elongated. Then we have staccato, and we create a staccato by stopping the airflow.
Wouldn't the phrasing be dit?
No, I just stopped the airflow.
Honestly, my band teacher uses the phrase dit.
She probably uses that for younger kids. When you say dit, it forces you to stop the airflow.
Yeah.
It's easier to explain it that way, but that's what we're essentially doing. We stop the airflow quickly. Yes.
Can you do piano music like those books and do it on the trumpet?
Yes, I can read out of the book and play on the trumpet. But with the piano, if played with the piano, I have to transpose up because I'm in the key of B flat.
So when he's talking about a B flat instrument, the piano is a C instrument, right? So when you have another instrument that's in a different key, it means that they have to change what they're doing, transpose. It means to move to a different note so that you'll play at the same thing together, right?
And another thing we can do on trumpet to kind of add more emotion to the music that you can't do on a piano. Sorry. We can add vibrato. We can add vibrato to our music. I shake the trumpet. There's different ways to do it. You can manipulate your embouchure, but when you do that, you're kind of stuck with how fast can you move your embouchure, whereas if you shake the trumpet, you can change it based on the pace of the music. Manipulating the embouchure for me is a little bit harder to do.
So when you talk about embouchure, can you explain what that means?
That is your lip muscles or your chops, as you will hear in band. When I say manipulate the embouchure, I'm moving my bottom lip a little bit just to create the vibrato, but it has more of a cutting sound that way, and I don't like cutty vibratos. Whereas shake the trumpet, it's more smooth in my opinion.
What other instruments have we played in here before that had vibrato?
Guitar?
The remember what it was called? The accordion. That's what we learned about. Yes, Giovanni.
Double bass.
Double bass, strings, right?
Yeah,
That's
the
a real
violin.
instrument that you like that. Yep,
Can the
violin.
violin do it by like pianos?
Nope, not so.
Yeah.
Pianos can't do vibrato.
Because you can't move the like strings that it's set to play.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you can pluck the strings inside the piano, but it's not good for it.
Okay. All right. He's gonna play a military song for us next. Who's heard that before? Yeah.
I think I've heard it before.
Isn't that the song you play once upon a time, guys?
I Yes.
moved to
That's a
I heard
military
that
tune.
song a lot. I almost sang. I heard that. I heard that on in my
Now, I'm going to play a couple measures of taps just to see if y'all can hear the difference from a cornet and trumpet. Do y'all kind of hear the difference there between the two? You don't? Kind of figured you wouldn't.
Well, it's kind of like loud.
Can you play it again?
They sound the same.
The trumpet was more piercing, wasn't it? Like
Yeah.
it like you feel like it almost going through you, right?
No, I don't feel that.
Yes. That's where the ball was. I'm sorry.
I really don't hear it piercing.
So the cornets tend to be more mellow and less piercing because of the shape of the bore. They would be closer to what a bugle would sound like because the bugle has a conical bore as well. But taps, any bugle call are one of the songs I can play in every key because the fingerings don't change regardless what key I'm in. And what you're hearing, if you have perfect pitch, is F, B flat, and D. And what I was talking about where it gets more difficult, two valves can play A. It can play a A, E, C sharp, E, which the top E is a little sharp because it's supposed to be open, but it's an alternate fingering that works. Even with, there's alternate fingerings for everything, which that's really flat for a G, but it.
I think you just slide one of your valves out.
What do you mean?
Like you slid one of the.
Oh, so when you play a low D on a trumpet, they naturally come out sharp, so we have to kick out the third valve slide because the third valve is depressed to tune it. And if we play a low C sharp, those are the only two notes that have to be tuned. You have to kick out the first valve as well to get that in tune, which that's still sharp.
Dude, you able to tune them?
Yes. And this is the main tuning slide. Further in, the more sharp you'll be. The further out, the more flat you will
How do
be.
you even tune them? Yeah.
Because I think it's the way the air is going, right?
Yeah.
And
So this is air going through it, right? So do you remember other things like the flute where we showed you before about shortening the distance that the air goes, right? Or lengthening it? That's what he's doing with that slide. He's making either longer or shorter, and that's what makes that go into tune.
And the way I usually tune it, if I don't have a tuner, I always tune to the piano because that's who I need to be tuned to anyway. And I will have them play a B flat, number 5 on the piano. Although typically in an orchestra, I'm supposed to tune with an A because that's the open string on all the instruments. But B flat is preferred, the higher one, this one. That way, when you're in the upper register, you don't have to battle out intonation as much. It's easier to manipulate your tune in lower register than it is the upper. Do you have the video that you can show to kind of explain the valves?
Alright. So I find the trumpet to be a fascinating instrument because of how it's played and everything. We're going to bring up a video so we can see how the air moves through those different valves to get our sound. All right, so we're going to show that in just a second here.
I also brought my trumpet.
Yeah, I saw. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since 5th grade, so 3 years.
What's your range like? Have you tested it?
I have, and the highest I can play, like the highest I can play regularly is a C, but if I'm lucky, I could go to the bar right above it. So,
When you say C, are you talking above the staff? High C?
well, no, not above the staff.
You're talking space note.
Yes.
Your range will come with practice, continuous practice. One thing that helps, crunches and running.
Huh?
Crunches and running.
The crunches are,
Crunches?
we lay on the ground and go like this.
Oh, yeah.
And running helps because it helps build endurance and builds the air tank.
All right, so we're going to play a video next on how, so this is how brass instruments work, right? So what he brought in today, these are brass instruments. Why do they call them a brass instrument?
It's made of brass.
It's made out of brass, right?
Wait, are they made of brass?
Yes.
Brass.
Yep. So
This one's just silver plated.
Oh,
right.
that's brass.
So this is going to show how the air moves through and how when he presses down those different valves, how that changes the sound in the notes.
This short video is looking at how valves work on a brass instrument.
Brass.
In this example, we're looking at a diagram showing the third valve of a trumpet, but the same applies to any brass instrument or key valve. The valve has 3 sets of holes through it. It is going into the valve chamber, and this is now its natural position when not depressed. When you do depress the valve with your finger, it moves down the chamber and then
Those are the holes he's talking about.
Released.
Just make sure you put it in the right.
In this position, when you blow down the instrument, the air goes along the tubing and passes through the valve and then continues to the next valve. The path of the air is shown by the yellow line in the direction of the arrows.
That was
Notice
interesting.
how the air cannot go through the other parts of the tubing shown in the diagram. Now the valve is pushed down with the finger. The air follows the same path until it reaches the valve, but now the holes in the valve divert the air so that it goes around the additional bit of tubing and then on to the next
Where do you
valve.
see the slides?
When the length of tubing is extended like this, it enables you to play lower fundamental notes. Now let's look at what happens if the valve is put in incorrectly. We're going to take this valve out and turn it around 180 degrees.
You get
When the
nothing.
valve is back in place, you will see that the air comes in and reaches the valve, but it then stops because the hole is in the wrong position. You will not get a sound out of the instrument like this, so make sure the valve is correctly fitted. Let's just turn the valve around again to the correct position.
So when he says you won't get a sound out of it, oh, of course, I didn't turn it. You actually cannot push air through.
Oh.
It has to be faced the right way. So you do what's called, on most trumpets, not all of them, most of them, you do what's called locking in the valves. You just turn it till it locks. Then I can play again. And in short, if I push this valve down, the first valve, it routes the air through the first valve slide. Second valve will route it through the second valve slide. Third valve routes it through there. First and third goes through first and third. All three goes through all three. Each valve depression does lengthen, which allows you to play a lower note, give or take. How much time we got? Anyone have any questions?
How good are you at it?
I won't say I'm great, but I'll say I'm pretty good at it.
You can play a lot harder than the same thing.
He's
You can play harder than my band instructor.
Yes,
How long have you been playing the trumpet?
about 20, 22 years.
Oh, wow.
You're very good.
What's your favorite song that you played on the trumpet?
My favorite song on the trumpet, that's a hard one to pick, but if I had to pick, I would say Battle Hymn of the Republic. Is that the name of it? Yeah, Battle Hymn of the Republic would be my favorite one for the trumpet.
One of my favorite songs that I play on the trumpet is Mechanical Monsters.
I don't know that song.
Oh. It is a book, but it's also a song here. It's also very, how can I just describe it?
Could you play Battle Hymn for us?
And I left something out that trumpets can do. That piano's cat. We can bend notes.
Stop roasting me.
Wow.
Am I allowed to share Mechanical Monsters now real quick?
Andrew, why don't you get your instrument out? You want to play one song for us? All right, Andrew's going to get his instrument out. Do you have any more questions for Mr. Chris?
I asked my question.
Yeah. So, how many combinations of valves do you know to be able to play different notes?
I know them all.
Yeah. Okay.
So
There's only so many.
really the fingerings repeat. And once you get to the upper register, the fingerings do not matter.
Okay. So, to go to another register, you're doing the same. Like if you want to jump up another octave, you're just blowing faster, right?
Faster, greater, and more tension on the lips.
And more tension on the lips to be able to create that
Higher pitch vibration.
pitch. Okay.
And some things we have to do as trumpet players to get higher, we have to make sure, we have to change how we tongue so that our tongue naturally sits down. That's why I tongue with ta. That way my tongue is out of the way. Sometimes we have to move our teeth out of the way too.
Okay. Very cool. You all set up there? Okay. All right. I'll get a stand for you.
So the song.
I remember when my trumpet looked like that.
Yeah, it's my mom got it on sale because one of the stores went out of business.
That's the shiniest your trumpet will ever look.
You're kidding. Oh my. I've played in front of an audience before, without like that.
You want someone to play with you?
Yeah. So this is one of the newer songs I'm learning. It's like
When Santa's away, the elves will play it.
Yeah, this is for my Christmas concert coming up.
What tempo are you playing at?
What do you mean tempo?
How fast? Like, are you gonna go 1? like that.
Something like that. I let my mom oil it and she got all over the trumpet.
So this music features different articulations in it. It has staccatos, accents, slurs. It even has legatos, which are on trumpet music. Instead of being, sometimes it's shown with a slur, sometimes it's shown with a line on the note. The line under the note or above the note for us means to elongate the note.
Okay. This valve is so stupid. I can't do it.
That will come with practice.
Yes, but like I've been able to play with my band, I just can't right now. I'm a little bit nervous.
That'll get better with practice.